Hello the internet! This week I'm going to be talking about homeschool. I'm basically going to tell you how I got started with homeschool, kind of walk you through my day a little bit. And I also asked you guys on Instagram to send me in some questions about homeschool/online school. And I got a few, but people misunderstood what I was asking for and just asked me normal like Q&A questions, when really I was asking for questions about online school. So if your question is not in this video, that probably means it was not about the topic. So if you are new to my channel, you are welcome to subscribe. Hi, my name is Daniella, nice to meet you. And the subscribe button is on this side if you're on your phone and on this side if you're on your laptop. So without further ado, let's get started. So to start off, I'm basically going to be giving you like how I got started with homeschool. The first year I ever got homeschooled was in 4th grade. So from the regular public school that I was going to, I went to homeschool in 4th grade. The reason for that being, I really don't remember, to be honest with you. I'm sure my parents remember, but I just don't really remember 4th grade all that clearly. But I do remember being homeschooled in 4th grade, and then my parents could no longer homeschool me for the 5th grade following year. So then after that, I went to a private school. And then later on down the line in 7th grade, I went to public school for half of like the 7th grade. And then I got sick with a asthma attack and then ended up in ICU. We kind of figured it out that I was allergic to the mold inside of the walls of the public school. So basically like my asthma went from like, I guess allergies kind of. The whole time I was at public school, I was always sick and I was always like really late to school because I just felt so like out of it, you know? My parents obviously didn't want the asthma attack to reoccur. So I got pulled out of the public school and put into my homeschool online school. I kind of consider them the same thing, to be honest. But I guess people do so many different types of homeschools. There's online school, there's public online school, homeschool, unschooling. There's just so many different options that you have. And it's also depending on where you live. So depending on where you live basically can tell you what your options are, because there are different laws. So at the end of this video, I'm going to be listing some options that I know of for you guys, of like different online schools and homeschool options that are some of them are international, some of them are for certain states, and I will also have them listed in the description, so wait till the end for that. So now I'm just going to quickly walk you through my day and kind of just what happens. So for me, I do not have a set time that I start school. It just kind of varies, to be honest, but it does depend on your parents. Some parents are a lot more strict and they're like, you wake up at 6 and you start at 8 like a normal public school person. A lot of homeschoolers kind of brag about the fact that you can do school in your pajamas, in bed, at whatever time you want. I get it, that's like a privilege, but not everyone is able to do that. It really kind of depends on your parents. So if that's why you're wanting to homeschool, I would probably check with your parents first, because you never know if your parents won't let you do that. I like to usually do school on my bed or my dining table. I prefer my bed though because I like have blankets and I'm just like really comfortable. It is personal preference though. You can honestly do it on a desk if you feel more comfortable, a couch, anywhere on the floor even if you felt like it. So I have my laptop open and all of my books. For my curriculum, the videos are pre-recorded classes. So these classes are actually filmed in a real school. I don't know where it is. The great part about having videos, I think, and this is like something that you can't do in public school, so this is like a plus. I know that you can also do this with K-12, is you can rewatch the videos. You can go back if you didn't hear something right or if you misunderstood. I know with a lot of homeschool programs, you can call your teacher or you can email your teacher. So there is other people to help you besides just your parents. That way if your parents don't know and you're not getting the information from the video, you can either email if that is what the option is, or you can call them. It just kind of depends on what your options are that is given to you by the online school. And what I find works for me best is once I'm done with like my math class, I do my math homework, and then I go into my like English class and do my English homework, and that way I don't have to do all of the homework after the school. I just find that works best for me. So some of the positive things about homeschool/online schooling is that you have freedom of so many things. And because there is no busy work, you have the freedom to get ahead, or if you're behind, you can catch up. You have the freedom of the way that you're educated, your fashion sense. I mean, you can dress in pajamas all day, your creativity, and travel. I mean, you can travel anywhere at any time and take school with you wherever you go. Another thing is that you can take as much time as you need. So if you have a little bit harder time understanding something, something, or if you have a learning disability, anything like that, you can take as much time as you need and you don't have a whole class waiting for you. Unless you take online classes like K-12 and Connections Academy, those I believe you can re-watch, but while they're live, you can't go back. Another option that you have as a homeschooler is co-ops. I do not go to a co-op, but I know a lot of people that do. A co-op is basically, actually I feel like a lot of homeschoolers make friends through this way, but a co-op is basically like you go to school kind of, but I believe it's once a week. There's so many different things that you could do. You could take like classes like science, algebra, chemistry, like anything like that. And there's also drama and sports, and I believe the co-ops are generally the people that hold the dances and like the sports and the drama clubs and all that kind of like creative stuff, and like the stuff that is at public school to still have all the like public school things. If you are homeschooled, you might have heard like, oh, who are you going to prom with? Your dad or like your brother or like, you know, that thing. For those people, there is actually a prom, just so you know. And it just kind of depends if you want to get into a co-op. I have tried one time, but I never went back. I only went once. So I believe co-ops you do have to pay though. So after I posted my morning routine videos, when I started to get all these questions about homeschool. And so one of the questions was, how do I convince my parents? I for one did not have to convince my parents, but I have helped someone convince their parents. So I feel like I have a little bit of experience, but I can try and help you out. So I wrote down on my phone quite a few ideas that I came up with to try and help you to convince your parents to let you homeschool. So my first tip is to tell them about co-ops and certain organizations around you. So I'm sure you can find some local ones online if you just look up like co-ops or homeschool organization or homeschool group, and then like where you live. Another good thing that you could tell your parents to try and convince them is that it is actually proven that homeschool students are smarter than public school students. This is an actual study. I believe it was a Canadian study. Another tip is to show them how dedicated you will be to your work and to homeschool. I've seen a few other videos on the homeschool topic, and a lot of people recommend doing chores. I would also say do your homework that you have now to your best ability, get good grades, and just show them kind of that you will actually be taking responsibility to do your work and to learn. Since homeschool is actually a very independent thing, you have to do it on your own, and you have to be very dedicated and responsible to be able to actually sit there for hours without anybody on you like, hey, sit down. You know how like teachers are always like, I don't know, I just kind of feel like teachers are always like, you know, pushing you to do your work, but you would have to push yourself to do your own work. So another tip is that if you feel like you could be doing better and that you could be succeeding a lot more in school and that school is just like way too slow for you, you can let them know that you can get ahead and that you could actually graduate faster if you do online school or homeschool. And kind of the opposite of that is if you are having trouble at school and you're not getting good grades and you just feel like it's too fast or they're not helping you enough, let your parents know that and let them know about the struggles that you're having in school and tell them how you think that online school could help. And if you don't think that you can function well or the kids are bothering, just let them know that you don't think that the school that you're going to or public school is like not the right environment for you. My next tip is that when you're approaching them, don't approach them in a way that's like, oh, mom and dad, please, I need to get out of school. I hate all the people there. Do it more of a mature way. That way they know that you're serious and that you're gonna take this as it's your education and you're really gonna do this. And because it can be a lot of work, I'm sure that your parents want to see that you will be capable of doing that. I know a lot of people's problem with school is the teachers. Don't get me wrong, a lot of teachers are great and they do their job wonderfully, but there are a lot of other teachers that are good for some students, but they're not good for others. So you can also let your parents know that you are your own teacher and they are your teacher, and you would be able to go at any pace that you want the right way for you. And also if your parents are feeling like kind of like, what if you don't like it, you know, you guys could try out a free online school just for a little while to see how you like it, and if not, you can always go back into regular school. A thing that you could do is during the summer, I know this is like kind of annoying, you could do one of the free ones online and just show your parents that you will be doing the work during the summer, just basically be doing school but in the summer, and just show them that you will be doing it. That way the school year after the summer, they'll feel confident that you'll be doing the work and that you will succeed, so they'll more than likely let you, I'm assuming. So now it is time for the Q&A. The first question is homeschooling easier than regular school? It's actually kind of easier, but at the same time it's not. It's harder because you have to be more disciplined than if you're in regular school. It's easier because you're at home in a more comfortable environment, and I feel like you learn more. I feel like I do more work than I used to do in public school. The next question is, how do you manage not to procrastinate? You want me to be honest? Some people are really disciplined and they will like not procrastinate. They'll just sit there, they'll finish, and like, yeah. It's very easy to procrastinate. In fact, I do it a lot. Like I procrastinate a lot. I'll be like sitting there doing math and then I'll just pause it and I'll go on Twitter. And it's like, it's not good. Don't procrastinate. You don't want to start, but it's very hard not to procrastinate. The next question is, what is your favorite part about homeschool/online school? I feel like my favorite part is that I have the freedom to like do school right here or like in my pajamas. So I know that's like the classic answer, but it's true. The next question is, how long does it take to do school in a day? I have 5 video classes, so each one is an hour, so that's 5 hours. And then however long it takes me to do my homework, 2 hours maybe. It takes like 7 to 6 hours to do school. The next question is homeschooling expensive? The program that I do, you do have to pay for, but there is cheaper ones and there is free ones. But at the end of this video, I will be telling you some school options that I know of, and I'll also be listing them in the description. So you are welcome to look into those. What about prom and other social activities like sports? Do you feel like you are missing out on the high school experience? Like I said, with prom and sports, you can go to co-ops and other homeschool communities. Do I feel like I'm missing out on the high school experience? No, not really. If I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the high school experience is just like dating, drugs, and like, no alcohol, no. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. I don't feel like I just kind of feel like that's what the high school experience is, besides like prom. And like, I don't have any interest in any of the high school experience. The next question is, how do you make friends? I know a lot of people that like grow up being homeschooled. They make friends from their parents, put them in like dance and soccer and like, you know, different sports and things. And that's how they make their friends when they're younger growing up. If you weren't previously in school, you're probably gonna have still a few of those friends. And if you go to church, you make friends there. And just being a social human being, that's how you make friends. Next question is, why did you start online school? But I already answered that question, so I'm just gonna kind of move along. But if you didn't catch that, it was an asthma attack. Yeah, basically. I just left school. So the next comment has a few questions in it. It says, how do you know what online school to choose? Do you have to pay for anything? And how do you submit your paperwork? Okay, so let's start off with the first question. How do you know what online school to choose? In a little bit, I will talk about all the different online schools that I know of, and again, they'll be in the description. So their next question was, do you have to pay for anything? Again, that really depends on which online school that you choose. There are definitely free ones, and there's definitely overpriced ones. It just kind of depends on which one you choose it once again. The next one is, how do you submit your paperwork? That also depends on which one you choose, on which online school you choose. For me, they sent us little packets, and the little packet, you fill all your paperwork in, and you have a sheet, like a check sheet, like, oh, I'm sending this, and this, and this, and this. And then you send that each like 6 weeks, I believe it is. But that is if you do the accredited. There is also independent. And for the accredited, you send in your stuff. For independent, you don't send anything in. Most of the homeschooled people I know don't send anything in to anyone, but it also depends on where you live. I know a lot of places you can't just do any online school. You have to do your public school's homeschool, which is basically you doing public school, but in your home. So now we're gonna talk about all the different homeschool options that I know of, and what is right for you and what like your laws are, I guess. So the first thing I want to let you guys know about is that there are some online schools and homeschool like programs that are not accredited. If you do want to go into college, which I'm sure a lot of you do have to know that they need to be accredited, or else you don't have the credit to go into college. That is the thing with the paying. I do pay for mine, but a lot of the ones that you pay for are generally the ones that are accredited. But there are some that are accredited and you do not have to pay for. I'm going to let you know of 2 of them. The first one is K-12. I'm sure you've heard of it maybe. It is on TV a lot. I'm pointing that way because my TV is over there. K-12 is all the way to 12th grade, and it is accredited, and it is an online school. It's not a homeschool, but you do get books. That one you do have to wake up at a certain time. You have to wake up at like 8:30 and watch the live video or the live stream for 4 hours. I believe it's 4 hours. I know someone who's done it. Don't forget that these will all be in the description below. It is accredited, so that is good. The next one is for all my international people. Connections Academy is also an online public school. So for the states, they have, every single state has their own Connections Academy like group. So it'll be like California Connections Academy, New York Connections Academy. But then there is also International Connections Academy. And that is for all around the world. So that is really good if you do not live in the US and you want to do an online public school. That is definitely a good one. But that one you do have live classes. Anyone that you have to do live classes, those are usually during like the early morning times. So you might have to wake up a little bit earlier for that. So the next two I'm going to be telling you are homeschool programs. They are Christian homeschool programs. The first one is Becca Academy, and this one you have videos that are pre-recorded, and the other Christian-based one is BJU. That one is also pre-recorded videos, and you get a ton of books, but both of those you do have to pay. I'm gonna be honest, I think it's like $1,000 a year, maybe a little bit more, because you have to buy the accredited version, and you have to buy the books and the DVDs. I know that the teachers and the books of BJU and Becca are both really good, and if you are Christian or Catholic, you know, those are just really good options because there's also Bible class. So you can also do unschooling, but I don't know what places really allow unschooling. I know Texas allows unschooling because Texas is, out of all the United States, the most free with homeschooling. But unschooling is basically like you can learn any way that you want, and it's basically like unschooling. It's not like school, but it is school. You're still learning, but not traditionally. And the last option is most public schools have a homeschool. So like you can get out of your public school, you're still gonna graduate with that school. It's just that you're gonna be at your own home, but the public school will give you your work. And at the end of every week, you go to your local high school, you get your tests done, but you just do your homework and like your classwork at home, and you have a teacher, and you still go to that high school, you just don't go there every day. I know people in like California do that. So this video was a lot longer than I intended. There was just a lot of information I wanted to get out to you guys and just kind of put it all in one video. If there are any other questions that you guys have, you can comment them down below and I would love to respond. But I hope this video was very informational to any of you that are looking to homeschool. So yeah, if you guys are new, definitely subscribe. I make videos every week. And if you guys like this video or if it was informational to you at all, please give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye! Hey! Hi! Hey! Hey! Hi! Hi! Mama don't like you. She likes everyone. My camera's already bleh. I need to get a life. Where can I buy a life? Is there a life on eBay? No. Statistics. I just talked for like an hour and a half, and I'm really tired now. I'm gonna go. Catch you later.